Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Mass, my authentic real estate story. We haven't had anyone this year, reasons we all know, but thankfully things are getting easier by God's grace and power. This is our first episode for the year and I am very excited to introduce to you our guest today. But before then, I'd like to remind you that behind everyone and every great business, there is a great story. Stories are all around us. They help us connect with each other. They help us connect the dots backwards. And then, of course, make sense of the future and the world around us. Today, I'd like to introduce to you an amazing power lady in the real estate industry. She's been doing well and has over 7 years record to her name in this space. And you know, when they say that women are taking over, I believe it strongly every day when I see women like her. And so I'd like to introduce to you guys Miss Ijeoma Lulu Ugwewulam. Thank you so much. So which one would you rather we call you, Ijeoma or Lulu?
I prefer Lulu. Yes.
You want to tell us why before we go ahead?
Okay, because Lulu is it gets you thinking, where's this person from? It doesn't sell my tribe out first, so you start thinking
EJ,
everyone knows where EJ is from. So Lulu gets everyone thinking.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today on Mass. We're hoping it's going to be very impactful for you and for us, and of course the viewers. So first, let me quickly run her profile by us. Ijeoma is a highly successful real estate broker in Lagos, Nigeria. Her focus on client satisfaction and helping investors find safe and rewarding assets has made her one of the top-selling realtors in less than 7 years. She builds strategic relationships and provides valuable real estate investment advice to help clients scale up their wealth portfolios. As a guest today on this show, she's going to be sharing her success story and then, of course, tell us how she's been able to thrive in this very male-dominated industry we always say and always hear. Well, deal with it until we take over. So welcome, Lulu.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's always very interesting when I have women sitting with me, you know, talking about real estate, talking about the industry. When we came in, and you know, it has continued to remain like that for a while, that when people think about real estate, what comes to mind first is the brick and mortar part. And they feel like we do not have the strength and everything to do the brick and mortar part, but we're constantly changing that. Either, you know, in being there physically to handle the brick and mortar, which, you know, a lot of female engineers are doing now, or in the other aspects of real estate. Real estate is not just the brick and mortar part. Real estate encompasses a whole lot of things that those who understand know. So I'd like to go right into it. First of all, I'd like you to share your authentic real estate story. In conversations earlier with you, you had told me you were first in fashion. When you left graduated school, you went into fashion first, and then you transitioned into real estate. Would like to hear that story.
Okay, so that story is actually one that I don't think I'll ever forget, because that's the story that led me to real estate. So I had just finished school from University of Lagos and I was thinking of what to do. I know that I love fashion and I have this whole beautiful ideas. Even today, I still have some designs that I made that I've not sold off. So I decided to sketch. I didn't want to do the sewing part of it. I just wanted to employ someone that would do that, run that, and why I just sketched.
Because you didn't have the skill set.
I actually didn't want to do that at all. I just wanted to be the creative director. As at then, I didn't have somewhere to accommodate them. So we just agreed on getting somewhere, you work from here. And I wanted him to be committed. So he runs certain things while I run the other part of it. Along the line, one weekend, I resumed on Monday with fabrics I had bought from the market on Saturday, thinking, oh, let's work with the new designs I have in store. And then I got there, I saw someone else at the store, and it's got, who are you, ma? And she asked me that same question, who are you? Realizing that this guy actually left with all of my items that I bought for the business. And I told the lady, I explained myself to the lady. The lady was like, okay, that she's so sorry what happened to me, but I should just come in and check if I could still find any of my items. I checked, I found only one item, which is the bottle maker, and I still have it today. So when I look at the bottle maker,
why are you keeping that though?
Well, I still keep it, but like I don't have anyone to give it to yet. So I was thinking of just sewing it into someone's life. So I went into female fashion. I also did male fashion. Making clothes was really tedious, you know, because I'm not the one making the clothes. I'm just the one designing and all that. So, and then I got
How did you eventually transition?
Now, the transitioning part of it happened in 2017, early 2017. I came across a lady in Wanya Kamu. She was talking about clarity. And as at that time, I needed clarity on what to do next. So I bought her course, I attended, I filled in the exercise, I did all that. And I discovered that I actually love 3 things. And number 2 is real estate. So I decided, okay, how do I transition? How do I let people know that, see, this lady is leaving fashion to real estate? It took me a while. So I was marketing privately, but I could not put it up there on my social media because I don't know what people would say. This guy is so inconsistent. And then
serious.
I was like, okay, no problem. Let me just manage it that way. Then I said, probably if I go to buy, I will understand better. So I went to purchase for myself. I realized that you can still own a piece of Lagos for just a token. And they have flexible payment plan. While I was still trying to think, okay, how do I do this? How do I tell the whole world? And the lady that sold to me, Mrs. Adeyinka Ibunoba, the lady that sold to me now advised me, sister, I think you can do this. She called me. I'm like, this is just God's way of telling me, I am in with this. Go ahead, go into real estate. And then I started. Give me blessings to go ahead. Then I started. It wasn't easy. I started with broadcast to my friends. Some of them blocked me. Some of them warned me. Stop sending me broadcasts. Some of them told me I would never buy property in Lagos. So just leave me alone. I was like, okay, I'm so sorry. Then a friend of mine that was very close to me said, Lulu, please, I think you have to reduce this broadcast. I said, I'm very sorry. I just removed that from the broadcast list. And I stopped broadcasting regularly. So I had to start attending trainings. And then I realized when we bombard people with so many messages, they get tired. So along the line, a friend of mine that noticed that I had not sent her a message in a week, she sent me a message like, Lulu, how come I've not gotten any broadcast from you? Please send me more broadcasts. They're like, oh wow, that was so touching. She was being supportive. And from there I transitioned. Making my first sale wasn't easy.
Tell us about that.
4 months down the line, I had not made any sale.
How were you funding your lifestyle, your
the money
business?
I had made from fashion, I was just managing myself. As at that time, I was just managing myself. So one day, I just opened my Instagram account and checked. I realized that they had a part for DM. I didn't understand Instagram as at then. I just checked the message request part. I just saw it. Someone had sent me a message like 1 week ago. I responded, I'm so sorry, I'm just saying this. She was like, no problem, it's fine. That was my first client. And she was still in the university. When I took her on inspection on a Sunday, she saw the land, she said she likes the land, she was going to pay for it. In my head, I was wondering, God, how are you going to do that? How are you going to, not knowing that she does business while in school. She sells stuff to her fellow students in school. She was saving up. She was really saving up. So I asked her to wait for me at the company's office. I was going to come there. She got there before me. She got to the office and she told them, my realtor is coming. They were looking at like, who's your realtor? You, this small girl. I came out like, oh, I'm so sorry, man. They were wondering why. Why am I calling her? That's my client. No matter how old you are, no matter how young or old you are, you are still my client. It doesn't matter. She was the first person that bought from me. So in 2017. Wow. And that was it. 2017, when I had to do like records on how much I had sold. I said, only 1 plot. Lulu, this will not happen next year. I was arguing with myself, this will not happen next year.
So the whole of 2017, you only sold 1 plot?
1 plot.
So why didn't you give up?
I didn't give up because I told myself, fashion didn't favor me. So real estate, I know that real estate is actually real. I know that there's a whole lot of money to be made from real estate.
So how were you able to fund your business through that period? Because most of the conversations that come up with real estate is, I can't finance, I can't, for a realtor for instance, I don't have money to go for inspection, I cannot create content, I cannot sponsor or promote my content because there's no money. everything boils down to finance, money. You need to have money to be able to, pursue your real estate business.
But you necessarily don't need to have money.
Fantastic. So how were you able to?
It was just, what I did was, like I said, I started with broadcast. Now, when I made that first sale, after I had paid my tithe, I kept some money because I got trainings before then. You have to put some money aside for sponsored ads. So what I did was posting on Instagram regularly, and then I found this page, Joro Olumofi. Then he was running sponsored ads for 20,000 naira. And I had just made about 145,000 naira as commission. So I just took out 20,000 naira. I said, okay, I'll invest it here. I did run an ad with him for just one day. And that ad got me 2 more clients in 2018. So they had followed me in 2017 and they were watching my page to see how consistent I was going to be.
Amazing.
And then they bought. Now, the truth is, those clients are still my clients to date.
Wow.
Like they bought the property. One of them said, I was going to send a relative to come inspect. I said, no problem. We got there, they saw the property, they loved it. One of them, in fact, is still very close to me till date, and he still buys properties. Like, I'm his realtor. By the order, he buys maybe twice in a year.
What do you think you did differently with them?
With them, it's good to
you said you have 2 customers, those first 2 customers who bought after the first lady.
Yes.
Those customers you got from Joro's page
yes,
are still your customers. I'm thinking this is 7 years or 6 years.
Yes, they're still my customers.
Yes.
So what
did you do to keep them consistent till now?
So first of all, I have to send them updates. They've bought properties, the previous ones. I can't abandon the previous ones. I have to keep them updated that this is what is happening. These are the processes they're undergoing. I give them more opportunities that these other location we just launched this. You actually need to buy this. And I have to explain to them, I have to teach them, because information is key. That, okay, if you're going to invest in this axis, this is what you tend to earn as return on investment. This is the location you should be looking at. Don't just buy any location. You have to start teaching them on how to go about their real estate investment portfolio. And then also, I built a relationship with them. So it wasn't just business all the time.
So how do you know how to draw the line there?
Oh, I have to draw the line, of course, because when it comes to male clients,
because we're going to get there.
Yeah, we're going to get
there. As realtors.
Definitely. So I think as a lady, your appearance matters. So if a client is approaching you, they approach you by how you look first, and your presentation really matters, and how you sound. Do you sound like you know what you're saying? Do you sound like you know what you're doing? If you don't sound like you don't have product knowledge, nothing, and then you just sound like, I just want to sell and make the commission, trust me, they will go for something else. They'll probably tell you, oh, I will need this from you personally before I can buy this. And then you start having that trouble with them. So I think as ladies, it's very, very important. Since we're more in a male-dominated industry, the way you present yourself really matters. My uncle will always say, be dressed the way you want to be addressed. So if you're dressed properly, I don't think a right thinking man, not like the ones, some funny ones will not come, they will. But there's a way you turn them down and let them know that, see, you're not in for that. This is business and it's strictly business. So I had to draw the line. I actually know where to draw the line. I know that if you're my male client, I can't call you once it's 6 p.m. I would never do that. First of all, before I call you up on the phone, I have to send you a chat previously. Oh, can you talk? There are certain things I want to talk to you about. If you say yes, we'll book time to talk on the phone. I talk to you and that's it. They even know that I draw the line. So once it's 7 p.m., you don't communicate with me. Except is extremely important. You need to make inquiries. And then of course, when it comes to sale, even 9 p.m. is fine. Just start me. I'll send you the form. Of course, those 2 clients, they give me referrals on a regular. And some of them have met their parents, and it's been something else, another different story entirely.
Wow.
It's been amazing.
That's so interesting. I've picked a few things of what you have, said. You've talked about building strategic relationships and maintaining those relationships, because a lot of people, when they meet clients, they just are eager to make that one sale.
Yeah,
and that's it. They don't open other doors and channels via that one person.
True.
So it is important for you to build relationships, healthy relationships with your clients, because referral business is the cheapest business.
Cheapest business ever. It's the easiest way.
I know, I understand. understand that. So, on your journey so far in the real estate industry, can you tell me, are there specific challenges you have experienced, be it as a realtor, as a woman in real estate? You know, how were you able to deal with those challenges?
Okay, so as realtors, first, before being a female realtor, there's a lot of challenges. One is either your client loves the property and then you have the lawyer who says, I don't like this property. So that's a challenge. Now,
The client's lawyer here.
the client's lawyer here.
We always see a lot of that.
They say, no, this property is not good. Why? Because sometimes they probably have like another property they want to show to the clients. And then sometimes
Sabotage
they don't even
business.
Sabotage business. They don't even tell the clients that I don't like this property. They just try to delay the whole process of closing the deal. Then as a realtor, if you're not experienced, you probably have issues with the lawyer. But if you're experienced, you know that this whole process, they've requested for this document, this is it. They've done the verification, this is it. Aside giving them this document, I've done my own verification and I know the result I got. I know that it's good to go. So how come we've not closed this deal? So all you have to do is just call the lawyer and say, please, a particular lawyer, in fact, I called him, I said, sir, let's go down. Let's leave the English. Let's speak pidgin. Sir, you're a Nigerian. Sir, what do you want? That's like, sir, what do you want?
Oh
you be my
God.
EG. Open up. All of us, they hustle.
Because
we
at
dey
this
street.
point,
At this point,
yes,
we just need to close
We
the
need
deal.
to know what's in the cocoa.
The cocoa, exactly. And then he goes, you know, at first we were being too professional. I said, but I have to be professional. If I'm not professional, you probably think I don't know what I'm doing.
You're a roadside realtor
Exactly.
and
And
you
I'm not a
advise your
roadside-
clients. Yes.
Yeah, so and then he goes, okay, no problem, don't worry, we settle. The following day, he just called up the client and said, he should go ahead and pay. And the client paid. And to date, the lawyer is my friend, to date.
So it goes back to relationships.
Relationships are very
important.
Very, very,
As
very
a realtor.
important.
You have
Yes,
continued to re-emphasize that.
exactly. Relationships very, very important. Without relationship, you're not going anywhere.
And then being able to understand the pulse in the room.
True.
You know, so if you did not understand what was going on there, you probably would have lost that sale. And there are probably some you would have lost because
I hadn't understood what was happening.
So aside this challenge, what other kind of challenge did you experience?
As a lady, of course, let me come to the female part of it. Yeah, I think since I've started this business as a realtor, I've been approached once by a male prospect. He went on inspection, he saw the property, he negotiated, like, okay, this is the one I want to go for. We agreed. He said, okay, I'm traveling. When I come back, I would pay for the property. I said, how long are you going to be gone for? He said, 2 weeks. So I was checking up on him because the price of the property was about to increase. I said, sir, the property is going to increase soon. He said, no problem, Lulu, I'll be back soon. And it was past 2 weeks. I checked up on him. He followed up. Sir, when are you returning? Are you back? And all that. He said, no, he's not back. You know what? Lulu, you come to Abuja. I said, sir, I can't come to Abuja. He said, come to Abuja, you're a baby. That's what he said, you're a baby. I said, I'm not a baby. And the property is not in Abuja. The property is here in Lagos. He said, Lulu, come on, why you? I said, I have to call you back. I dropped the call because I knew where he was going to. And then I said, I didn't want to sound rude, but I just wanted to let him down respectfully. So I sent him another chat like 2 days later. I said, sir, I just want to quickly find out if you're still interested in the property. And then he goes, I'm interested in the property, I like the property, and I also like you. I said, sir, I don't mix business and pleasure. Business is business. I don't even do that. And you're a married man, so please, can we go ahead and do the business? If you're not interested in doing the business, it's fine, sir. And then he goes, Lulu, you should trust me. He sent me pictures of his car. Like, he sent me pictures of his car. Like, this is my car.
So what's that supposed to do for you?
Funny enough, the car was RX 350 as I did. And I was like 5-7 years ago. And I go, really? What do I need your car for? I said, sir, your car is nice. Thank you. So I see that you're no longer interested.
I'm lost here. So maybe you want to explain to me what the car was supposed to do.
Yeah, it's to show me that he has money. I figured, like, okay, probably because he's a new, I don't know. I just said, oh, probably he wants to show me that he has money. He's not lacking money.
You can take care
of me and the
beyond
land. Like, okay, no problem, sir. So I just let him down respectfully. And I think that was the first time I was ever approached.
So did
like
you
that.
finish that business? Did you close
No, it didn't
that?
close.
It didn't
It didn't
close.
close.
So, but the good thing was you knew when to walk it.
Yes, I knew when to walk away. I wasn't desperate. I wasn't pushing. If you actually read, for every serious client that wants to purchase a property, they go ahead. They buy the property. They don't even waste time.
So I was waiting for you to nail that.
Yes.
Because, desperation sets in sometimes when you haven't made sales. We lose the consciousness that is supposed to remind us that this person is not doing you a favor.
But you are doing the person a favor.
Well, they need, if someone wants to buy something, they have to buy it. It's for his benefit.
Not for my benefit.
The only thing you're earning from that transaction is the relationship that you have established and the fees.
Yes.
So the land he's buying is going to serve him and his family, not
for the
you.
rest of his life. True.
So I need a lot of our young viewers to understand that, because we still see it playing out today, and maybe not in the way it came to you, maybe in other forms, but knowing when to draw the curtain and say no. There's a thin line between professionalism and rascality, so to speak. And so so that's really interesting, and I'm hoping you haven't had other experiences like that.
No, I haven't because I had to quickly tell myself, most men or some men are moved by what they see. And I decided that no matter what happens, I would never be desperate to show off my skin. I would never do that. I'll always at all times to cover up and to look first professional and casual and still approachable.
So you think letting out skin and all that
it adds to it.
It adds to it.
Yeah, it does.
Well, we see a lot of that now.
Yeah, but sometimes you might even wear.
Be all covered.
All covered, your eyes, everything covered, but they still come. Then you know that person needs probably prayers.
Okay, let's get more serious here. Okay, so COVID-19 came in 2020, and it looks like the world was about to stop. And no one had experienced that. No one was pre-informed. Everyone was witnessing it for the first time at the same time. And the first most interesting thing that happened was home. Everyone go home, right? Home became the first cure for COVID. How did that affect your real estate business at the time? What was the impact of COVID-19 on your personal real estate business and then the industry at large?
Okay, so lockdown was new, definitely. So it felt like the world was going to end, of course. And of course, like you said, no one has ever experienced that COVID-19 before. The whole lockdown thing was something else. How do I live at home? How do I stay at home without going to sites? In particular, I love going to sites and all that. Okay, so affecting my business. For the first 2 months, first 1 month to 2 months, it was actually slow. Everyone was just talking about their health first. I need to be alive first for me to think of something else to do. Now then, third, fourth month, a lot of reality started setting in. People who own businesses, you notice that you have to work remotely. Now, working remotely means you don't have to go to the office. You still have to work at home. You're still making money. You're still being paid. And then next thing, what happened was some people who got used to going out every day of their life, they couldn't just stay indoors every day. So they discovered that most estates had like shortlets. So they rather go to the shortlet, or if they have like gathering like a club, they go there to network and all that. So those shortlets were making money then, but most people didn't know because there was no movement, right? But the nearest shortlet to an individual, and they discovered that okay, I can go out. At one time they had to open. There was curfew. So within that short period before curfew, okay, you can actually go out. They go out to those shortlets, stay there with their friends or families, and just have fun. Network with other people. Then once before the curfew time, they all go back home. So what happened was shortlet was experiencing a boom, despite the fact that we are on lockdown. Now another thing was for my business, I realized that most people who didn't live in an estate didn't find it funny. They were indoors. They couldn't come out of their streets. Why? Because it's not within an estate. But houses and lands within an estate confinement people who subscribed, who lived there, were actually having the best fun ever, because neighbors could come out and say, oh, let's go to the park, let's do this, let's cook, let's eat, let's drink. They're not out of
communal
their
living,
that communal living setting. You could actually still go for a workout, despite the fact that you're not going to the gym. You can still walk around your estate. And then people began to understand, I prefer estate. I think I'll buy a property within an estate confinement. So the estate confinement, if you notice that the estate, we had more estates springing up. More estate, even the estate that had that, okay, I would not really call top-notch estate. I would not say they are top-notch. They're just there. They discovered that, for us to scale up, we need to start fixing our roads. We need to put some amenities in order. We need to start sorting things out to ensure that our subscribers are actually comfortable within this location or within their confinement. So for my business, by 4th month, people kept buying properties. I had inspections during lockdown. I had to take someone who works with the government and all that. You know, they have this agricultural or pharmaceutical and all that to go on inspections because they were desperate. They realized that keeping the money in the bank will not do anything. Most people are going for short-let. So if I had gotten like a short-let, or I had like properties for rental purpose, I'll still be making money. Because those working remotely had to pay rent. They need to keep paying rent. There's no stories. So they had to start investing. So I would say in 2020, I sold the most of properties. 2020 to 2021, like the moment they released, other countries came out of lockdown, people were able to go to the banks to make transfers, they were buying properties. So I think COVID year was actually a good one for real estate. They had like a lot of influx of investors in the market.
So amazing. I quite agree with you because for us, we also witnessed, when people were saying things have been tough, we couldn't relate because we build communities and we saw that communal living at that time became a thing. Everybody wanted that convenience that it offered. The comfort and convenience that it offered. People had to work from home, so you're looking for a community that has internet, that has water, that has power 24 hours. You don't, exactly. Because you're working from home. Students had to school from home. So they needed power, to be able to do that. They needed internet to be able to do that. And then you talked about health and lifestyle. Yes. People could come out of their houses. There was gym within the community, and where you don't want to use the gym, you can walk around. And then of course that's, Nigerians at some point, everybody wanted to be their own landlord, living in their space, confined. They began to open up to communal living, and it has come to stay. And most importantly, because they have realized that it gives them the opportunity of shared costs, that you don't need to necessarily run all your costs, your utility bills and everything yourself. So it has helped build the real estate industry.
It did, actually. It did.
I quite agree with you. So I'd like to ask another important question. So for a woman in real estate, when you came into the industry, how was it compared to now? What are the changes that you have seen in the industry? Is it more receptive and accommodating for women? What do you think that those are the things that we can do differently, to empower more women, to encourage more women? Because you see school leavers, a lot of young girls wanting to go to entertainment, fashion is all glam and flashy. How can you please help it make sense to them that there's a lot to benefit from the word go? You're not thinking of going to become an influencer. You're not thinking of going to become some person in the entertainment space or going to fashion, because that's the default for a lot of young girls. How can we make it more attractive for them to come here? First, how was the industry when you came in? What does it look like now? And how can we make it more interesting? How can we empower more young women? And then how can we give them the right information that they need to thrive in this industry?
Okay, so when I joined the real estate in 2017, it was more male dominated. So they had few women then.
Was it receptive?
Yeah, it was receptive for me. But I saw that more male were already in the industry. They were making waves and all that. So if comparing that to now, we have more women in real estate. In fact, like out of 100%, 97% of those sales are made by women. young women,
A lot of
middle class, a lot of realtors
are women. A lot of the realtors
even
are women
old
now.
ones. I have a couple of colleagues that are like in their 50s, 60s. Some of them are in their 70s. Women, and they're making waves. They're actually making sales seriously. So I think this industry right now is very receptive and accommodating. As long as you're ready to work, you're committed, and you're going to remain consistent and understand that this is what you want to do. So I would advise all women, as long as you're done with school, even while you're in school, you can do this business.
Yeah.
You don't need money to start the business at all. All you need is just knowledge. And you can get knowledge from whoever is introducing you into the industry. It is very, very easy. And they don't really
knowledge
understand.
online. You don't even need anyone.
You just need to read
yeah.
and understand what's happening.
If you're needing someone, will be to show you the right places to go to, the right properties,
and all that. And that's actually easy because a lot of us are online and waiting to direct people on these steps. So the truth is, for young women, please understand that there's so much money. There's so much money to be made in this industry compared to other industries.
Should we increase the volume? I don't think they're hearing.
There's so much money to be made in this industry compared to other industries. Like, is that easy? It feels like, yeah, I know you'll say, it's not, all the sectors are not easy.
Maybe you want to be showing off. I think they like show off.
Like show off.
Yeah.
Well, you can still use your show off.
No, we don't need to do show off.
To do your business. Showing off in the sense that you don't have to show what you've acquired. You can actually show off by saying, this is what I've learned. Yeah. This is what I've come to know over the years. And I think you need to key into this at the moment. Trust me, women are making waves at the moment. Like, a lot of single mothers, they don't need to stress themselves or start thinking, oh, how do I feed or how do I take care of my kids? And they are training themselves. But once you start making money, of course, you want to develop yourself. You want to self-develop yourself. So this industry is, so I keep smiling whenever I'm talking about this industry because it's actually where you can meet a lot and you can transform your life because you meet a lot of people from different walks of life to expose you.
I know you're part of, if not one of the leaders of one of the real estate groups. You know, when network marketing came, a lot of people shied away from it, but eventually they got into it. And somehow, you guys have been able to create that network in the real estate space. How does that work?
Okay, so my real estate brokerage firm is called the Billionaire Realtors Group. So the Billionaire Realtors is, we have over 85,000 realtors.
85,000
realtors.
Wow, that's a huge
all over
number.
The world, because some of them are not in Nigeria. Amazing. Now, so how does it work? We have trainings. If you're a new realtor, you want to come on board, you want to know how to sell real estate, it's just simple. You just come on board. You don't have to pay for it. All you have to do is just register, and then you'll be given materials to go read. There are trainings. We do consistent trainings. We have business opportunity trainings. We have weekly trainings. We have online trainings for realtors that are new, are just coming into the industry, in which they can learn and know what to tell their clients whenever they come across any of their clients. So when it comes to joining the network, there's actually an advantage of joining the network because the network tries to tell you, okay, this is the right way to go. You don't just, because you're now a realtor, you sell any property you see, because you also have to be careful on what you sell. So the network is there to teach you and to tell you that go this direction, go this route. This is where you know that you sell, and you sell peace of mind.
I know.
And you don't get to start regretting how much.
Because we see a lot of the scam. And by the way, what do you think we need to do, you know, especially because I see a lot of realtors who, you know, encourage their customers to buy properties. At the end of the day, they don't do proper due diligence. Maybe there's been exchange between the developer and the realtor. So at that time, they're already committed, so they cannot fight the developer, and then their client is suffering. Yes. What do we need to do? Because our industry is really suffering with a lot of, you know, bad image and scam talk here and there.
Yeah, true. So one of the things we do at the network is we ensure that first we've gone ahead to negotiate with the developers. Now, and then we ensure that everything has been put in place. So you, as a realtor, not to lose your clients. Okay. There's a way we relate with.
How do you accredit these developers?
Okay, we have to do due diligence. It's a must. even if the developer has been with us for like 10 years, for every single property you launch, you bring on board, we have to always do due diligence.
So you have a team within the network?
We have the sterling bosses, and then we also have portfolio managers, in which I'm one of the portfolio managers. And so we have a relationship. We try to have this relationship between our developers and the realtors. So we stand in between the group as well. So we try to advise. It's a win-win situation. That's the goal. To ensure that the developers are winning, realtors are winning, the brokerages are also winning. Everybody's happy. So what we do is we go ahead, do diligence on the developers before we take them on board. Okay. Not just the developers themselves. We also do due diligence on the properties that they are bringing to the market. We need to be sure. If it's not okay, we don't approve. So if you have like 5 and probably 2 is not okay, we don't approve of the 2. We don't focus on the 2. We focus on the 3 that is fine. And then we ensure that the developers will definitely deliver. So most times we try to check your track record. Okay, what have you done in the past? What have you done and all that. That's part of the due diligence on the developer. And then even if you're a new developer, we also do due diligence. We also give you like a trial. So we'll probably come on board with those small properties, and then we'll watch you on how you operate. We ensure that you're delivering. You're not just taking people's money, and you're not doing the infrastructure.
Have you guys had bad experiences?
Oh yes,
as a group.
We've had. And the truth is, those developers still did not go that way. They disappeared, but we were able to reach them, and we're able to allocate to every single realtor that sold that property. So that is why the network is very important, because you can be independent. There's nothing wrong with being independent, but being under the network, you're protected, you're shielded.
Apart from this, what are the other benefits for members of the network?
Okay, members of the network, first of all, for free trainings. Aside from free trainings, we also advise that realtors must own properties.
Please, I want to come and be a part of this network.
Please, you're free to join.
Let me be buying properties every day.
Because
so how do you help them do that?
So it depends on what you want to buy. So they are giving flexible payment plan as a realtor. As long as you're a realtor, you're giving flexible payment plan that you can cover up, because we negotiate that for them, for the developers, and whenever they are ready, whenever any of the realtors are ready, I want to buy this property, they just contact the portfolio manager in charge, and then they go ahead to negotiate for them. It's okay, take this payment plan and you'll consider. So thereby, you're not just selling, you're also owning, and you're also recruiting, you're also teaching people on how to join this business and make so much money too, just like the way you've also made money. And then for the developers, for the network we still give incentives. We give incentives. We reward our realtors for making sales. So the truth is, it's not just about the developer, because developers give incentives. Now, the network also gives you incentives. So that's like double incentives. So being under the network, it covers you. But if you're going direct to the developer, you just get one incentive. And the incentive might not even be properly explained to you. They might just give you something because they know you're not under any network. But once you're under a network, they already know what has been agreed. They'll give you that which is due to you. And then the network also reward you for saying, oh, thank you for doing this. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for being under our umbrella. So there's a lot of incentives. We have travel incentives. A lot of us have
been going around the world. I've been seeing you people. So one thing a lot of people don't realize is, and like I said, because we don't show off so much, they don't know. Because most realtors end up traveling like 3-4 times in a year from the incentives that they get from their sales. But of course, I have to always talk about making sure that your customers are not at disadvantage when you are taking those stores. So you have to always make sure that their interest is protected. It's been an amazing conversation so far. I have really enjoyed it, and I'm hoping that our viewers have also picked up nuggets from this conversation. But before we wrap up, I'd like you to speak to one young lady out there, or even a young guy who is about to leave school or who has left, and they are thinking of what to do, to take their life in their hands and get to the next stage. What are those things that they can do, whether being in a realtor group or standing by themselves? How can they excel in this industry? And what are the opportunities that are there for them to tap?
Okay, so I have to be talking to one young lady or a young man now. So the truth is, first, you're almost done with school. you need to have the right mindset. You need to understand that you can win in anything you want to do, and everything is achievable, because we have tons of stories of people who have achieved a lot just by having the right mindset. So when you're out now, all you have to do is just contact any realtor that you feel or you've seen their proven records on social media that they are doing well, or you can join a network group to say, okay, teach me this, I want to know about this, how do I go about it? And then from there, the sky is just your starting point. Because I know when I started.
Did you get good support?
Oh, yes, I did.
How many groups do we have? Do you know?
We have a lot, but I just know about my
Yours, okay.
BRG. So
Billionaire Realtors Group.
Okay. Yes, so I know that it's been amazing since I started with BRG. Trust me, last year I traveled 6 times, and
whoa,
it was just all expense paid trip.
Wow.
I was actually traveling with no money.
Wow.
It's really interesting, and I've never bought a car with my money since I started real estate. I've never. The first car I had was from real estate company. Second, third, fourth, fifth, all real estate. So
wow.
I've never bought a car with my money.
Wow.
Never.
And this is not just stories. They can actually come and verify and confirm
and people
this.
are doing more. You have other realtors who are doing way more. Some of them are winning houses, they're getting lands, they're getting 2 beds.
I know you won a house.
Yes. Yes, I
think
did.
I saw that.
Yes, I did. I want an apartment. Definitely, as an Igbo girl, it's gonna go out for rental income. So I'm gonna put it out for rental income. And lands, a whole lot. A whole lot. Most of all, you're being financially free. Of course, you have dependents. Of course, you have people relying on you to take care of them. So you cannot disappoint them. You just have to be ready to be committed and work.
Okay, so talking about financial freedom, I know I had said that was our last, but we cannot let you go without talking about it, because that's what you do. That's your core.
Yes,
making sure that people take charge of their finances and build wealth, and then eventually a free life.
Yeah.
So for people who aren't actively investing in real estate, you're smiling already. What do you have to say to them?
I don't know why they're not investing in real estate in the first place, because every single billionaire in the world has a percentage of their investment in real estate. Even the designers, the property that their stores,
whatever
those are real estate
wherever they produce or manufacture,
where their offices are, real estate investment, factories, real estate investment. I really don't know why some people are not actively investing. Let's just assume that they don't have money yet. But I think as an individual, an average individual, you should always put real estate investment as one, because it's real for a reason.
Let's assume they don't have the finances. You said, but people want to, and finance is their limitation. How can they go past this limitation?
How can they go? It's just to make up their mind that first of all, they want to own real estate investment. Amazing. And they can decide to say, oh, I want to become a realtor too. Simple. Thereby, you can start raising money, making money, and then you can invest. So thank you so much, Lulu. I really had an amazing time. I told you that I wanted us to chat, but I think when we get into this, our industry talk, we just keep going, and we never want to stop. I know, but do you want to go back to fashion? No.
You don't want to go back?
No.
I thought it was your first love.
It's real estate. No, it's real estate. Real estate for me.
Oh, buy you car, give you house.
Give me trips.
5 trips. No, you said you went on 6 trips last year. Wait, please, which fashion?
No fashion. Well, I will start complaining. You did not make this right. You have to do this correction. Like, I just need to real estate.
But then your clients are happy.
Yeah, my clients
are happy.
My clients are happy.
And how do you make them happy?
The
most important thing that you do.
It's not like
keep them
every
happy.
Business has its own setbacks.
Yes.
Sometimes setbacks might arise, but how you manage the situation matters. How you're able to follow up on the situation matters. How you're able to ensure that your clients are relaxed. So first of all, trust is very important. If your clients don't trust you, when issues arise, then you understand what it means by bukata, wahala. That's when you understand. But if they trust you from the beginning, right, they'll stay cool, they'll remain calm, and definitely everything has to have a solution. There's nothing that doesn't have a solution.
Sure.
So you're able to walk through. So while you're going through that, you're still communicating with them. You don't abandon them. You don't stop talking to them. You follow up behind the scene, and then you give them updates when you have something good to tell them. So you try as much as possible to manage the situation to ensure that they are all happy and they still send referrals to you.
If we keep going, we will not stop
We'll not
because
stop.
there's so many things to talk about.
about.
But I'd like to, do a quick joke with you. If I put you upside down now and I shake you, what will fall out?
Houses and land. Houses and land. Houses and land.
So you have houses and lands planted inside of you.
Because that's what it's like before.
Oh my God, I didn't even expect that. I never expected it. But that's an amazing one. Thank you for throwing me off my feet. It was really nice to have you here on the show today. And to all our viewers, Lulu has said a lot. I don't think it will make any sense for me to come and start recapping one by one. And I know you have learned a lot from her. And I would encourage every young girl, young man, young girls especially. There are too many opportunities in the real estate space waiting for you. Please come. And like she said, so many of us are here to help. I'm sure if you go to her DM,
right? It's Lusquared
and send her a DM, she'll be happy to handhold you. We don't have a lot of women who shoo people away because we want more women. We don't have a lot of representation up there, and we're trying to build ourselves to get there. And we'll be glad for you to join the train, the moving train. So please reach out to any of us and you'll get the help that you need. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again on the next episode.